What's up, y'all? I'm Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut. Thanks for coming back for yet another week. Out here in the lawn, Sunday morning, getting ready to enjoy the mow, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you can expect in this video this week. This is gonna be one of those videos that's kind of in segments, you know, or all the different things that I've been doing throughout the week. I'll give you links below to those different segments, you know, but it's just gonna be a little of this, a little of that, bada boop, bada beep, over here, over there. But first, we're gonna start with some Florida lawn care tips. And when I say Florida, it also applies to Central and South Texas as well as Southern California. And it's gonna really start with this. See, here's my lawn. See that lawn over there? See the difference? You see, every year when we get to the winter, I release a Florida winter lawn care guide. And again, this year I included Central and South Texas as well as Southern California in that guide. And what it is it's basically strategies on how to keep your lawn looking deep, dark green through the winter, should you have a mild enough winter to where it doesn't want to go dormant. And you can see exactly the contrast here. Now, it's not quite fair because this is Viridian St. Augustine grass. In Texas, it's called Texas ProVista. Actually, I was talking to a Texas grower last week, and he pronounces it ProVista, Texas ProVista. So not really fair because this grass is bred to be darker green already, but you can still see the difference when I go over to the conventional St. Augustine over there, the Floratam. So here's my Floratam St. Augustine, and you can do the same thing. You can look across and see the difference in the Floratam in that. And the biggest difference is I have continued to fertilize. That lawn over there, again, that's a friend of mine that lives over there. I'm not making fun of his lawn. He is on a program from a company that follows University of Florida guidelines when it comes to fertilizing. And the University of Florida, they're not real big on fertilizing. They don't like fertilizing. They would rather you use the least amount of fertilizer as possible. And that's fine. That's just a mediocre, normal St. Augustine grass lawn here in November. It's watered well, but it's just doesn't get a lot of nitrogen, and so it kind of just has this kind of look to it, you know, and that's fine. That's what most of the lawns in this neighborhood look like. But lawn care nut lawns that follow my strategies, we're more like bodybuilders. We're using those performance enhancing drugs, and that's mainly when I'm talking about nitrogen, and then this time of year higher potassium. Those are our performance enhancing drugs, as well as biostimulants and all the other stuff that we throw down, right? And you can see my lawn is much greener. It's much more vigorous. It's just like bodybuilders, right? Nobody is going to go and tell Mr. Olympia, hey, you should follow the standard American diet. No, he's going to use performance enhancing drugs. And look at him. He's Mr. Olympia. Chris Bumstead. Look at the guy. Is he normal? No, he's well above normal. He stands out. You can tell he turns heads, just like my lawn. And so if you want to learn the strategies that I teach to have a Chris Bumstead style lawn, well, that's a guide that I released, and it kind of talks about those strategies, what to put down, when to put it down, all during the winter to hopefully keep your lawn nice and vigorous and green like this one. Again, this is Floratam St. Augustine grass. And actually, this lawn right here, it got my natural product, my 5015 life support, like 3 weeks ago. And you can see how good it's looking. So it didn't even really get pushed with that much nitrogen. It did get the higher sulfate of potash that's in that. It's a 5015. But again, it got fertilized. And that's the difference. University of Florida, they're just not big on fertilizing. It's just not their thing. With me, I want a Chris Bumstead lawn. I'm throwing down, baby, and you can see the result. Now the Texas ProVista over here, or again, Viridian, it's already darker, but it got my 2002 Derby green, and you can see, well, the shadows are bad. That's the other thing, see? The sun stays so much lower in the sky in the winter. Remember, I've talked about that. So this area of the lawn is never shaded. So that's another thing we've talked about in strategies, understand how the shade composition changes during the winter. But what is this? But even when I back up here, again, you can see, you know, it's a darker green already, but that is that 2002 performing also. So slow release, natural nitrogen, a little bit of ammonium sulfate to give you that push. But again, look at the difference. So follow the guidelines of the university. You're just going to have a normal lawn like that. And again, that one gets watered as much as mine. Or follow my strategies and by Viridian. This is like super Mr. Olympia lawn here. But like I said, even my Floratam over there, so much greener. And again, that's just because I push it with fertilizer and I keep it irrigated, all the good stuff. Now, there's a lot more in that guide than just fertilizing. I also talk about how to water the lawn because that's so important. Keeping the lawn out of dormancy, keeping it watered will help. Also go into disease control strategies, super important. Weed control strategies. So there's a lot to it, and really it's all about mindset. You guys know that read my guides over the years, I take a lot of time getting you in the right mindset, and that's really what a lot of the guide is, so you can expect or have the right expectation set when you set out on a journey to take care of your lawn here in Florida, Texas, or Southern California in the winter. I'll give you links below to that guide. It's a PDF. You just download it. You're good to go. Looks great on your phone. Looks great on a desktop. And I'll see you in the lawn. Okay, next I'm getting ready to enjoy the mow, and I've got something that I can't really show you here. It's right there underneath the whatever that is, the pixelation that I have to do. I can't show you that until December, but I can just tell you it's something to do with ego, and I'm about to enjoy the mow with it. It's kind of funny. I'm going to enjoy the mow without filming it, and to be honest with you, I don't know if that's even possible. I don't think that I have mowed the lawn without filming it in probably over 10 years. So, but anyway, I am looking forward to showing you what's under that pixelation right there. And again, I can't do that until December. So until then, I'm just getting to enjoy it by myself. And that's actually pretty cool. Speaking of ego, you guys know I've been now sponsored by them for going on 4 years, and what a great partner they have been. And what I'm talking about mostly is with philanthropy. You guys know that over the years I've brought them some philanthropy ideas, ways that they could give back to our community, and every single time without hesitation they've said, yes, what do you need, Alan? Well, recently I had a chance to bring them another philanthropy opportunity. So let me give you a little story. So you guys know Yard Mastery, that's my company, and we founded that in 2019, so we've been around for a little bit now. And every year what we do is we take our entire company and their spouses on an annual retreat. You know, they work so hard, they work long hours, they work weekends. You guys know, if you've dealt with my customer service folks or anybody on my staff, they're incredible people. These are full-time, with benefits, salaried employees, not like some companies that keep people stuck down at part-time. No, we have full-time employees who are really committed. They're all family to me. And so once a year we take them on a retreat and we take their spouses, and this year we chose to do Costa Rica. Now, while we were there, again, we have business meetings, stuff like that. We also went ahead and did a philanthropy opportunity or a philanthropy project. We found a school that's in an economically depressed area, and we purchased some trees and a whole bunch of paints and paintbrushes and stuff like that. And then while we were there, we went out and had a work day together where we actually planted those trees and painted the school. Check this out.
I feel like I'm on Animal Planet right now.
Ooh, I got $1 in my pocket. See when I really wanna rock it. I'm trying to have some fun like the Sod Show. 'Cause all that really matters is tonight. So, ooh, I got $1 in my pocket. So turn the music up and get it poppin'. I'm trying to have some fun before I die. So all that really matters is tonight. Oh, tonight. I got a feeling for the first time in my life. It's a celebration that I would die for. I ever felt the rise. I can feel your love pulling me up from the underground. I don't need my drugs. We could be more.
Look at those roots, John Perry.
We could be more than just part-time lovers. I get robbed of all my sleep as my thoughts begin to leak. I let go, but I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how, but I need to now. I can feel your love pulling me up from the underground. I don't need my drugs. We could be more than just part-time lovers. I can feel your touch picking me up from the underground. I don't need my drugs. We could be more than just part-time lovers. I can feel your touch picking me up from the
Now this is essentially like a one-room schoolhouse. There's one teacher and she teaches all the grades, and that's the only staff is her. And while we were there, we found out that soccer field you saw us playing on there, that oftentimes it gets overgrown and there's no one to mow it. They have volunteers that'll come in when they can, and they actually have to cut it down with weed whackers. Okay, well, we're just finishing up the painting, and we planted some trees earlier. Just had a nice soccer game, but I found something out. So this is their sports field, football field, we call it soccer. And they said that this field right here just a couple days ago looked like this over here. So this field just a couple days ago was like this, and the kids couldn't even use it. And the only way that they can cut this is with weed whackers. So they do this whole thing with weed whackers. And they say there's a lot of times when they don't have the staff to do it. And so this just overgrows and the kids are not able to be out here. And so I said, well, I know somebody that's got some equipment that we can get. And not only to help with that, a little bit better than just a standard weed whacker, but then we get them a couple mowers to keep this maintained. And the thing about it is they're not going to be able to have budget to continually buy gas for lawnmowers. And so this is where battery comes in, because once I send them battery mowers, all they have to do is plug them in. They never have to buy gas again. Yeah, so while we were there, I thought, well, I know somebody that can help you out, and that's Ego. And so when we got back, I sent them this video, and I said, hey, what can you guys do for me? And they were immediately like, oh, we'll send them some stuff. And so right now, as we speak, the folks at Ego, they're getting all their stuff together, and I don't even actually know what they're gonna send yet, but enough to take care of that field for sure. And they're figuring out how they get it down into Costa Rica. So I will provide an update on that once all the stuff gets there, but I just wanted to point that out, you guys. You know, Ego is my sponsor, and however you feel about YouTubers like me getting sponsorships or not, it doesn't really matter to me. This is just how the world works now. But one thing you can know is that Ego, the folks behind Ego, the humans that are in Naperville, Illinois, over by there, every time I take them an opportunity to help out someone, they always say yes. And to me, that's what a sponsorship is all about. All right, next I'm gonna talk a little bit about Christmas lights. Halloween is over now, y'all, so you can start thinking about it. And actually, I was up in North Carolina last weekend helping my dad with some stuff. And while I was up there, I took the time to film some content on the 3 different white faceted lights that we saw. You guys know I use these filament warm whites. These are the brightest you can get. But a lot of you guys, you like the faceted. So we actually have 3 different shades of white. And I went ahead and made a video about that I'll show you now. All right, y'all, today I'm up here in the beautiful Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, and I'm gonna show you our 3 different white bulbs that we have. These are faceted bulbs. We have a warm white, we have a pure white, and then we have a cool white. And the reason it's great that I'm up here is because it gets super dark here, so I can show you what they look like. I'm gonna string them up on this 25-foot stringer separately and film them and then stack them next to each other, so that way you can see exactly how they look. And again, don't forget, we have these in 25-foot, already have the male and female on them. Pick your bulbs, put them in, or we also have 300-foot and 1,000-foot reels that you can cut and put your own females on and males. I have full training for you. There's a guide, there's videos show you how to do it step by step. But with that, let's now get into looking at our faceted bulbs, our 3 different whites. Couple 2-3 hours later. Okay, I've been trying all different ways to show these, so hopefully this will work. So there's warm white, and there's pure white, and there's cool white. So let's zoom in a little bit. There's warm white versus pure white. Then there's pure white versus cool white. Then there's all 3. Warm white, pure white, cool white. Now let's back up and we'll introduce some more. So there you go. There's another warm white. There's another pure white. And there's another cool white. So all the way down. Warm white, pure white, cool white. Warm white, pure white, cool white. So there you go. There's a comparison of our 3 different choices of faceted bulbs in a warm white, a pure white, or a cool white. Click or tap to get more information, and I'll see you up on the roof. Yeah, so like I mentioned, that segment, that was filmed up in North Carolina. I was up there helping my dad out with some things. I don't usually share a lot of personal stuff on this channel, but you know, my dad's going through a battle right now, and I know there's a lot of you that are praying folks in this audience, and I'd appreciate your prayers for my dad. You know, I've always told folks over the years, my dad is 80 years old and he can outrun me. I'm 52 and he could outrun and outwork me, no problem. It's always been that way. And in fact, just this last July, I went up to see him and he hiked up to a waterfall with me. 80 years old, hiking up to waterfalls in North Carolina in the mountains. So, but yeah, he could really use your prayers right now. We could use your prayers. I'm gonna be going up there every couple weeks to help him out. He's in very good spirits. He's a very strong man, and I know he's gonna get through it, but your prayers would really help, so we thank you for those. Okay, finally, let's move out to the land. I got 2 things to do out there. One, I'm gonna show you a quick and easy way to transfer gasoline or fuel up equipment that will almost guarantee no spills. And then secondly, I'm gonna show you a piece of equipment that I got, and I'm gonna start working with it and showing you why I'm gonna use it and that kind of stuff, getting into some super manly man stuff with big, heavy equipment. Totally new to me, totally something I'm learning, and I wanna take you through that journey, and so that'll be a little piece of that at the end of the video. So let's get out to the land now. Oh, by the way, I do have a name for it. I'm not going to reveal that yet. I need to still take care of a few things out there, but I have chosen a name for the land, so we won't just be calling it The Land. It'll have a formal name, but again, I'll reveal that, I don't know, sometime over the next couple 2-3 months. All right, let's get out there. All right, figured I would show you guys a little something here. You know, one of the things that you have to worry about with a generator is when you refill it, because it's been running, right? And so it's super hot. And so you guys know we all despise these government issued fuel cans, especially that's a 5 gallon. So that's 50 pounds that you got to lift up in the air, and then you got to be able to push this button right here, this tiny little short stubby that looks like what you're used to dealing with at home. You know, that's just something that it's just a pain in the rear end. And I don't know what you guys have experience with, but no matter how many times or how much I tighten these down, I still get leaks. So I'm going to show you now the quickest way using this little tool right here that's nice and clean to be able to transfer fuel into something like a generator or a boat. This is really used on boats a lot, to where you don't have to worry about fuel spilling all over a hot item or in the bay if you're on a boat or something like that. So the first thing you'll notice is I have the fuel source is sitting higher than where it's going to or where I'm transferring to. That's important for the way gravity works, the gravity flow of this. And probably most of you've seen people using siphons before, like in old movies where they're stealing gas. They'll have just a plastic tube and they'll stick it down in someone's gas tank, and then they go, and then boom, they start the siphon, right? And maybe you've emptied your pool that way. You know, you got a mouthful of algae when you're opening it up in the spring. Well, what this does is it keeps you from having to do the, and it makes it super safe. And let me show you the why. So the key is that this siphon has this brass fitting on the end right here, and inside there's a marble. And what you do is you stick this down in the fuel source and you start shaking it like this, and that marble inside of that fitting creates the suction and creates the siphon for you. So it's pretty much hands-free, and the most important part is it's mouth-free. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brass end, I'm going to put it down in the fuel source, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the other end down into my tank on the generator. And here we go. Shake it like you mean it. You got to keep it down in there. Start shaking. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's a clear tube, but it's already going down through there. Get it going real good. You don't have to do this forever. Once the suction starts going, it'll stay. There we go. It's moving. I'll try to pick it up out of there so you can see it. That's pretty good because I already got some gas in there. So all you do when you want to stop it is you lift the end out of the source tank. There you go. And then you'll see it all comes out. Nice easy tip up there. There you go. These are available on Amazon, super cheap. I'll give you a link below. This is great for any type of fuel transfer that you need to do. But like I said, especially if you're transferring into something that's already hot and you don't want to spill on it, or on a boat. Boats are where I see them most down here in Florida. But again, they're great for generators too, especially during hurricane season when you might have to be refilling this a couple, 2-3 times when the power's out over by there. Okay, so you guys saw in a video a couple weeks ago, I had these piles kind of laying around everywhere, and I was kind of weed whacking around them to kind of show me what was inside of those. Well, now I finally got my tractor here. This is a Bobcat. This is a 40 horsepower. I'll be doing a full review on this once I have some seat time with it, once I kind of know how it works. So this is a great way to kind of get started, is to clear these piles out. What's on there now is an implement called a grapple, and that was the first thing that I got. I also got a set of forks for it. I got, obviously it came with a bucket, and then I have a tiller for the rear. The forks were actually given to me by the local regional manager here, or regional management here of Bobcat. When I actually went to buy this, I bought this at a local dealer, and that'll be part of when I talk about the review as to why I bought a Bobcat. But I went to the local dealer, and I didn't ask for anything. I actually paid for everything here. I didn't, you know, say, hey, I'm a YouTuber, give me this or give me that. I was just like talking to the salesman as I went along, and he was asking me obviously what I do for a living, why am I buying the tractor, and I told him I was a YouTuber. And then after I bought the tractor and everything, he actually went to his regional manager and told him about me, and the regional manager was like, oh, well, let's give this guy a set of forks. This is a way to say, you know, thank you. And I was like, well, that's pretty awesome. So I would like to say to the regional management of Bobcat here in Florida, thank you very much for the forks. So far, I mean, I've just played around with this a little bit. It's been awesome. Today will be my first real day of getting to use it, learn it. It's kind of like learning a new video game system or a new video game controller. That's kind of how I liken this. And again, you guys know I've never used equipment like this before. The biggest thing I've ever owned prior to this was a zero turn. So kind of follow me along in my journey as I learn, as I go. Once I get these piles cleared out, I also want to test the tiller. As I've showed you guys already, this ground is just full of roots and all kinds of garbage like this everywhere, you know? And so for me to be able to plant grass here, I need something to be able to rip it all out. So I'm going to try the tiller and see how that works, to try to just loosen up the top few inches of this ground so I can scrape it all off and get all the junk out of here. But for now, it's just going to be me having some fun on my brand new tractor so I can feel like I'm in a Kenny Chesney song. So anyway, I'll just do a little montage of that, me working, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. right, well, I think that's all I'm gonna do today. There's some stuff that's really big in there, too big. So I think I'm gonna try to burn that one first, burn it down, see what comes of it. But there you go, that's all I got for you today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that, I know I did. Here is this pile now. I'll mess with the tiller another day. Kind of ran out of time today, but that pile's gone. So now I just gotta get in here and grade that out. But that made a lot of easy work out of it. I don't know what I would have done if I would have had to move that by hand. I'd have had to cut it all up. You saw me cutting some of it up the other day, but man, I would have had to cut it all up. It just wouldn't have been done. So this is where these types of machinery come in handy. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this, something a little bit different. Leave me your comments, questions below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the lawn.